Hey guys, welcome to my channel, and if you're new, thanks for joining. So this is November. I'm doing things a little bit different this month. Obviously, I'm really tapping into these kind of more mysterious, hidden, darker energies of Scorpio energy. Scorpio is a very interesting season, you guys, and I have a Scorpio midheaven. I have a Scorpio north node. So around this time every year, I'm definitely transform in ways that I'm just completely reborn, as a person. And this is true for everyone. This is true for every sign. So transformation, death, rebirth, renewal, purity, definitely emotional transformation, very, very important around these times, right? I'm sure you guys can all feel the intense energies here, especially emotionally. So it's very interesting here that we're already in November, strongly approaching December. Also, guys, really sorry the videos are late. I've been thinking a lot about it, and I kind of like that my videos come out later because it's when all the other videos are uploaded, kind of like all the other tarot readers have uploaded their videos, and some of them are doing the mid-months around here. So, my readings tend to be kind of the mid-month. But I like that because when I record, I have a lot of energy to work with already. So when we speak, we speak towards the middle of the month where I can really hone in on some of the energies that you guys have felt already. And that can kind of come out for the beginning of the reading, and then I touch on the ending of the month. Just know that it's okay to watch my videos at any time because the way that I read, I've done a lot of personal readings on people, and I tend to see that my readings are futuristic. So just know that what the information that you receive in my videos this month, they go into December as well. And I will be speaking to you guys in December. I was really, really sick. My throat actually has started to hurt again. So, yeah, good. Thanks. Great. But yeah, definitely takes a lot of work to talk for hours at a time. And I was deathly sick in the beginning of the month. So, I wasn't even able to start these videos until around, I don't know, I want to say around the 10th or something like that. And I'm going to have a chance to upload them very soon. So, that's great. Other than being sick and everything like that, I'm just thinking that divine timing, we talk when we do, and I really look forward to it every month. Scorpio season is all about your intuition, okay? So the readings that I'm doing this month, especially with me having a North Node and me being a water sign, I'm extremely affected by these energies, and I have no choice but to transform around these times. I'm seeing a lot of readers on YouTube really following their intuition around this month and doing what we call intuitive readings. So I did a little bit of that this month for you guys' messages. Really, really powerful messages coming out this month for everyone. So I hope they're relatable and helpful in some way. But you have to understand that with Scorpio energy, it really gives me the power to dig deep into your subconscious, and it dig deep into your energy, so that the information that comes out are deep subconscious hidden problems going on in your life, right? And some people aren't going to want to relate to those things because it's pretty intimate. Scorpio energy has everything to do with intimacy. It is the eighth house, and usually, this is the time of year where everything that we want to keep hidden at a subconscious level is completely aired out. Scorpio is a purging energy. So it really purges out anything that isn't pure. It purges out anything that needs to transform. And I really love this time of year because we're approaching Sagittarius season, which is very light, and it's a very expansive time, right? November, a very powerful month. So yeah, the readings, guys. I'm working. I tried to do an 8-card spread for most of you. So I'm using the Wisdom of the House of Night deck, of course, because that's very Scorpio. And then I'll be using regular tarot to clarify your cards. So we start out with pretty much 4 cards there that symbolize your energy for this month. And then we do clarifiers, which is always nice to get even a little bit more insight with the energies that we receive from spirit. So for the most part, guys, I really just wanted to work with these energies. Another cool thing about these readings is that a part of the theme that I'm doing this month, besides the black lipstick, of course, is I wanted to record at nighttime. It didn't really dawn on me until this season that I've never recorded tarot readings at night. I've always done it this far with in the light, you know, and then I'm worried about when the sun's gonna go down, and I'm limited to how many videos I can do. I'm a night owl. I stay up really late. You know, I'm staying up till like 5 a.m. every night, and that's just how I am as a Pisces. I was born around that time, so I just like to stay up late, guys. I'm a night owl for sure. And you know, there's something there about the nights because a lot of different energies presented themselves to me. So this is something that I may do in the future as well. Do certain signs, and if you like that, comment below and let me know. If you like more of the feel that I had in the nighttime for you, for your messages, because it definitely felt better for me as well. Me being a night person, I work better at nighttime. My energy is more calm and it's more mysterious, and I really wanted to do that for Scorpio season. So that was really fun to do. So yeah, that was interesting to do that. And other than that, you know, I really just wanted to freestyle and be intuitive and let whatever energies, because Scorpio is all about purification. So I really didn't want to cloud the readings with what, you know, usually I have some type of setting to do, right? But no, it was pretty freestyle this time around, and I really enjoyed the messages there. So I do have a little bit of astrology for you guys for the beginning of the video, and then we'll get started with your actual individual tarot readings. So we did have a full moon in Taurus on November 3rd. Long time ago, guys. I would have loved. I have a Taurus moon. So, I mean, yeah, I'm definitely going through some completions there, but I would have loved to talk to you guys around that time. But that was the time when I was really sick. Interesting that Taurus is my third house, and Taurus rules the throat chakra, and I was sick with strep throat. So I'm realizing that every month or every year around this time, I usually go through some type of throat chakra issue, and it was not fun. Interesting that we had daylight savings time end on that 4th. So it's just interesting to me. A lot of mysterious connections that I'm making around this time. That we had a full moon, and then the daylight savings time ended. We are in the darker half of the year, guys, and Scorpio is known as the dark night of the soul. So if you make it through this season, I'm proud of you and congratulations, because you're not going to make it through as the same person you were before. We're all going through certain transformations, and that's why these readings are very deep this month. We have Mercury going into Sagittarius. We had that going on the 5th. I did mention in the Aries video that Mercury was in Libra still, but it isn't. Mercury has entered, or that Mercury was in Scorpio. It isn't. It's in Sagittarius. And we have Venus in Scorpio, though, so that's cool. Venus moved into Scorpio on the 7th. And the 10th, we had Lilith move into Capricorn, so that's something that, you know, that we're going to talk about a little bit in the videos with some of you that I feel it applies to. We have a beautiful new moon in Scorpio on the 18th. This is when the sun and the moon are both in Scorpio, making the moon invisible in the sky. Please mark your calendars for that day, you guys. Very important day to do emotional releasing work. It's going to be a very dark day. And I don't mean that as in bad. You know, I'm really trying here to spread the messages of light and dark, whereas light is not good and dark is not bad or evil, right? There's beautiful things that come from the dark and really horrible things that come from the light. And that's the duality of our universe there. So, you know, this new moon, when the sky is at its darkest, the dark enough to hide the moon, you know, Scorpio does well with energies like that. Not because Scorpio is dark, because Scorpio is the lightest sign. Like, they are so pure, right? They're all about death and transformation. And that's just so beautiful. Death and rebirth, some of the two things that we don't know much about, but how pure is it to be born? How pure is it to die and transform? Just lovely energies, and we're all going through this on different levels, right? So interesting day there to have the moon and the sun in Scorpio. Wonderful time to do any emotional work or any, you know, meditations, anything like that with spirituality. Beautiful, beautiful time. And then on November 21st, we have the sun entering Sagittarius. So a lot of us are going to really, you know, this is when the transformations kind of let up a little bit right now. Dream on. We're all being transformed and noticing things about ourselves that we didn't even know. And that's what transformation is all about, you know, kind of letting die what we're no longer of and rebirthing into what we are. Okay, so there are certain parts of us that are dying and that won't make it. And we need to encourage that, because Scorpio, we really have Scorpio to thank for that kind of energy. But yes, we will have the sun move into Sagittarius. And on November 22nd, we have Neptune going direct in Pisces. Awesome for me, awesome for you, and where your Neptune placement is. And then, of course, at the end of the month, we have what we call Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving to those of you who decide to celebrate Thanksgiving. I have a strong Native American history, so I'm pretty enlightened and I'm pretty woke. So Thanksgiving has always given me the creeps. As a kid, when I was forced in school to color the kind of pilgrim pictures and the Indian pictures, and oh, they had a feast and it was all great and lovely. Well, my soul is very intelligent, and I always had a horrible feeling about Thanksgiving. And I'm sure some of you have done research, and some of you are woke and enlightened to the real meaning of Thanksgiving. So, happy Thanksgiving to those of you who are celebrating Thanksgiving at the end of this month. Interesting that as soon as Neptune goes direct the same day that the sun moves into Sagittarius, and then we have Thanksgiving right after that. So this year, for Thanksgiving, yes, I will be eating dinner, but it's not a traditional Thanksgiving dinner because I just like to be different and I like to set different trends. I'm going to be doing a lot of meditations for the lives that were lost, some of my ancestors that were lost in the Thanksgiving celebrations or the pilgrim days back then, stuff like that. So I'll be doing meditations there for that, and I'll just be using that day to be thankful. I will be doing a lot of creative work with Thankful and the Art of Thanks, and I'll be writing out things that I'm thankful for, things that I value, and I'm just gonna be thankful to be alive. You know what I'm saying? With God willing, I will be alive on that day, and it'll be a very spiritual day for me to kind of reflect on what I am thankful for. And just so that just that we're talking now, guys, I'm extremely thankful for all of you. Extremely thankful for your likes, shares, and subscribes, and your comments for sure. I love talking with you guys. I love getting your comments. I have notifications on my phone, so I get a notification every time one of you likes or subscribes, and it just puts a smile on my face. Well, some of the good comments. Some of the bad ones are like, yee, but most of them, I'll see that it's relating to you guys and that my messages were so helpful. And I have all the belief in myself. I believe in the messages I spread, but at the same time, as a tarot reader, it's hard because I'm talking to a computer, you know what I mean? I know I'm talking with your guys' energy, but I don't necessarily have your feedback right away to say, yes, I am going through that. So it's extremely intuitive work, which is beautiful around this time. And it's even more beautiful that we're heading into a time of belief. And I strongly believe in spirit. I strongly believe in the collective consciousness and that the right messages will receive or wind up with the right people. So I'm very thankful for you guys. I'm thankful for the talents, gifts, and abilities that I have in order to do this kind of work. I'm thankful to be alive, and I'm thankful to experience, this chance at consciousness. So, whatever you're doing here to wrap up the month of November, I send all my blessings to you guys, and I really hope that the readings this month were relatable and helpful to you. Please comment below and let me know what you guys think. And as always, be blessed, and you have my best energy sent to you. So, I hope you guys have a wonderful month in November. It is really intense, it is really transforming, but just know, we're coming up on the end of the year. So that's a transformation in itself. There's a lot here to do with cycles. Also, meditation is coming up very strongly for us in November and December. So make sure you're taking the time to do your spiritual work, whether that's just being outside and looking up at the sky and kind of speaking to your higher self, or being at one with the universe. Whether you do meditations or yoga or whatever it is that you do, it is coming up strong for the signs in November and December. And that's pretty awesome, because I would say around this time where we're transforming, it's extremely important for us to stay in touch with our higher self, because so much is changing right now about people and places and things around us, and we're changing and other people are changing, and it can be kind of hectic, you guys, but just know at the end of all this, we're going to be stronger people, and we're going to be transformed into things that into the things that we need to be in order for the next step of our life. Right? So these transformations are very, very necessary and critical to our being and our conscious state. Our whole entire universe is transforming right now. So I don't want this intro to be very long, but those are some words that I really wanted to say to you guys. And without further ado, hear your readings for November, and I hope you enjoy. All right. Bye, guys. Talk to you in December. Hello, Aries. This is your November reading. So, before the reading, which I'm very excited to do, I want to go over just a little bit of astrology that may or may not have been covered in my intro video. So, it's November. We're in Scorpio season. Today is the 10th. And I'm not sure when you'll be watching this, but you know how the universe works, right? Timelines, frequencies. So, just bring your energy in for me here so that we can start this off well, so that I can get some good messages for you guys, okay? So, let's see. What do I need to talk to Aries about? Well, I wanted to talk to you guys about Uranus being in your sign. That's very Aries right now. Uranus is the planet that rules Aquarius, and it's the only planet that spins on its side. So Uranus is all about zany activity. It's all about taboo, being who you are, and that's just like such a great place to have Uranus in. Have it in Aries right now. It will be moving into Taurus soon. Uranus is at the late degree Aries. So for some of you who have been feeling anything in relation to that, like I'm not sure how that would affect Aries. But Uranus is in your first house, definitely calling Aries. I would assume that it would call you to be who you really are inside, which is an Aries thing anyway. Aries are constantly wanting to be exactly who they are. You guys are effortlessly who you are. I said the other day that Aries is the only sign that can be something that they're not in an honest way. And that's because you guys are the first house of self. Hello. So if it wasn't for you guys, I don't think any of the zodiac wheel would really have a strong sense of self. Okay, so shout out to the first house of Aries in the building. So yeah, you guys have Uranus in your sign. And I just wanted to speak with you a little bit about that. If there's been anything bizarre going on with your guys' character, that is definitely happening with you. And I want to look more into that. And as Aries, I believe that you should, research Uranus and things that it can do in the first house. Let's see, I'm a Pisces, so Uranus is in my second house, which would probably cause people who have Uranus in their second house maybe make money in a very strange way, or view finances in a very strange way. True for me. So that's just a little example there of how Uranus can affect you. But you want to make sure you find out what houses it's in. I have an Aries third house in my actual birth chart. So Uranus is actually in my third house. Crazy that I'm talking to you guys about this, because I have been communicating in a very bizarre, taboo, strange way. Probably will help me with your reading. I love talking to you guys because I have an Aries third house, and it's just easy to talk to you. So whatever your third house is, I would say the sign that your third house is controlled by, if you have like an Aquarius third house or a Pisces third house, then you may find it easier to talk to those people. Other than that, guys, we are in Scorpio season. How has that been treating you? We were in Scorpio season late October, and I wasn't able to talk to you. Last time I talked to you, it was Libra season, your opposite sign. Which brings me to the next thing I wanted to talk to you about. Mars, your ruling planet, is in Libra. So Mars is opposite you right now, right? So I wonder how that's been going with you guys. Since Mars is your ruling planet, the god of war, it could be aggression or attraction, I find it interesting when it's as far away from you as possible. Now, Mars will move from Libra to Scorpio, which is your sister sign, which brings me to the next thing I wanted to talk to you guys about. Scorpio and Aries are both ruled by Mars. Some of you may not have known this, but all of the signs have planetary siblings. For instance, Pisces and Sagittarius are both ruled by Jupiter, co-ruled. And so you and Scorpio, kind of brothers and sisters. You have that kind of sibling energy. So if you're dating a Scorpio, I don't want you to be like, you're my brother or sister, can't date you. No, it's not like that. It just means that brothers and sisters, siblings, they can kind of fight sometimes, nitpick, but they understand each other at a deep level. So these are the kind of things that I think of when I think of the planetary siblings or the co-ruler. They're actually soulmates. So if you are Aries dating a Scorpio, nothing wrong with that. There's certain energies that Scorpio can feel about Aries, having being ruled by Mars. Scorpio is also ruled by Pluto. So, you just have that kind of sharing energy when it comes to Mars. If anyone were to understand aggression, it would be Scorpio and Aries. So, yeah, this is your sister sign, guys. So, you know, Scorpio is also the sister sign of the water signs. So, just personally, for me, Scorpio season is just really amazing for me every year. Before I was into astrology, I just always assumed that it would be because it was November or, the fall months or Halloween, but now that I'm an astrologer and I know that I have a North Node in Scorpio and I have a Midheaven in Scorpio, these are the times that I just kind of flourish. And I think that that would be a little similar to you, Aries, especially if you have a Scorpio North Node. I know a few Aries born around the same time as me that, when they were born with the North Node of the moon in Scorpio, meaning that this is the direction they need to go in life, letting go more so of the Taurus energy, of the materialistic, earthy, grounded, stubborn-ish energy, moving towards more of the darker, mysterious. I call Scorpio North Noders the warriors of the darkness. We are definitely like advocates fighting for the dark energies that are misunderstood. The dark is a beautiful thing. And that's why I have this theme going on here for November for us because I love Scorpio energy. So I hope that the Scorpio energy is doing well for you, Aries. This is a very Mars energy. So, just keep an eye on the aggression that you feel or any warlike tendencies, arguing, power struggles, things like that. But all in all, I hope, depending on what your guys' chart is and where Scorpio is in your chart, could be challenging for some, could be great for others. But we're going to harness some of this Scorpio energy through me today as a water sign and as the Scorpio placements I mentioned to you. We're definitely going to have the eighth house to kind of thank today for the messages that come out. So, other than that, I don't really think there's anything else to talk to you about, Aries, other than Uranus being in your sign and Mars being opposite you. These are just things I thought I should mention. Maybe there's some things happening in your life that could be responsible of those planets. You know what I mean? Sometimes I go through things in life and I just know it's because of where the planets are, things like that. So we have the wisdom of night here. There is a glare, guys, and I'm gonna mention this in my intro video. But I'm recording all these videos. Most of the videos I'm gonna try to record at nighttime now because I realized I didn't ever record. I'm always recording in the daytime, right? And I'm always concerned with the window lighting and if the sun's gonna go down. But I can talk to you however long this however long this reading takes. I'm just going to get some messages for you, Aries, for the month of November. So this is for Aries, guys, spirit. And we're going to harness some of that Scorpio energy today to get a good idea of where Aries, sun, moon, and rising Aries. Get some energy for them. Okay, so let's see what's going on with you guys for November. Alright, got a card flying already. So we have playful. I'll show you guys here in a minute. We're going to get, okay, another thing I want to mention real quick here. And I don't like to talk when I'm shuffling because my words might affect the cards that come out. But I'm going to mention a lot of this in my intro video, guys. But Scorpio is a very intuitive energy, okay? It's hard to explain the eighth house and the way that the eighth house feels. But as a Pisces and as Scorpio sister sign in Aries, your Scorpio sister sign, well, you're the planetary sibling as well. Scorpio, very, very mysterious, very, very intuitive. And with Scorpio energy, they really appreciate authenticness. They appreciate when you're yourself. Maybe that's why they're your sister sign, Aries. Aries are the house of self. A lot of Aries I know, the majority Aries I know, they are who they are effortlessly. And they don't care really what people think about that. Scorpio enjoys energy like that. As the seasons go on, I read actually differently. I try to keep it a certain theme. And I'm talking about this because I'm going to have a theme, which I'm thinking we're going to do an eight card read, an 8 card spread. But at the same time, if any other things come up, I'm going to be open to those energies. So for those of you who appreciate more of like kind of a structured reading, that might not be what goes on. And I mean, I appreciate structured readings, but you know, I really flow when it comes to these water. And the sun is in Scorpio right now. I believe the moon is in Leo heading into Virgo. So there is a need for, oh, cool how playful came out for you guys. And this is going to be black and white. So, you know, we're going to have to add our own color here. But I'm just following my intuition on these readings. So I'm planning on getting 4 cards from the House of Knights, and then I'm planning on putting 4 cards on top of that to kind of validate or further explain. So I just wanted to explain that there. I'm sure I'll explain all that in my intro, but you know, freestyling here. I guess they're called intuitive readings when you just, and that's what I usually do, but I kind of like to tell spirit where I'm gonna place things. Like last month I had a cross-examination reading and I knew exactly what the cards meant, but it's gonna go different this month. You know, it's Scorpio season. There's you know, energies can go anywhere. And I just want to know why when I start these readings does my nose run? I wonder if that means anything here. So we have 2 more cards pop out, Aries. And we have the High Priestess of Air and we have Denial. Okay, so we're just going to flow with this because we have no idea what these secrets are kind of going to be, right? Scorpio is all about secrets and what's hidden. And for you, Scorpio is in your 8th house. So, and Scorpio is the 8th house. So that's why I like Aries readings, because all of the houses are naturally what they are. Like Taurus is the 2nd house, and Taurus is the 2nd house of Aries. And it's because you guys are the 1st house. If I was talking to Libra, all the houses would be opposite. Their 2nd house is Scorpio, when really Scorpio is the 8th house, which is opposite, 2nd and 8th. Confusing, I know, but oh, just things that I'm kind of taking note here. So yeah, these are 8th house secrets. Some of this is going to have a lot to do with your 8th house secrets and things that you need to be aware of, Aries. But we're just going to flow with this reading because who knows what Scorpio wants to tell you, right? Who knows? But we're looking at the month of November here, 2017. And give me just one more card, Spirit, if you could. If there's more, bring it. All right, there was just one. And it fell. Okay, so we have listening. And I think we might have talked about this card a little bit before, Aries. But, okay, so far on the table, and I am at my desk in my office, so it's going to be extremely hard to show you the cards. But here they are, and this is how they're laying. And I'm going to place regular tarot on top of these, okay? So let's just show them as they are. We talked a little bit about this well, I showed you a little bit about the playful card. We've got the number 44 up there. So this could be something to do with the 8 energy. So, you know, 4 plus 4 is 8. And we're talking about the 8th house. It's interesting that this is 8th house secrets for you, Aries. So you really want to play around. I'm feeling that you want to be playful with the darkness almost, you know. And what I mean by that is you want to be playful about what's dark about you. We take the darkness so seriously, you know, and the dark doesn't really enjoy that. The dark actually likes to be a little bit playful, and it's more so the light that needs to be taken seriously because you really don't want to mess around with light. It's very powerful. The dark is very powerful as well, but it's powerful in a different way, more so under the surface, more so intuitive power, right? So, you know, this is coming up for you, Aries, that in the month of November, hopefully so far you've been kind of playing around with different things that you're finding out. Okay, as an Aries and as the sun entering your 8th house of Scorpio, the sun's in your 8th house now. I know a lot of Aries that I know have been really dealing with darker energies. You know, there's a lot of energy in Scorpio. We have Venus in Scorpio now. Jupiter's in Scorpio. So you have a lot of planets in your 8th house. A lot of, Mercury is also in Scorpio. So, you know, and Mercury entered there on the 7th, so it's been there for a couple days, and then we have a new moon coming there, so the sun and the moon are going to be in Scorpio, your 8th house, on the 18th. So listen, Aries, that is a lot of energy to be in your 8th house. The 8th house is usually hidden, you know. The 8th house is a secret. It's more about intimacy, and you know, when it comes to intimacy, that's something that we it's a very intimate word to even say that. We share intimacy with the people, with select people that we trust, you know what I mean? So the 8th house, you know, it can be kind of secretive and hidden, So for planets, so many big important planets like Venus, the brightest planet, is in Scorpio. Then we have Jupiter, the largest planet in our solar system, moving well already into Scorpio. So a lot of planets there that are going to really expand and highlight your eighth house of secrets and darkness. So you really want to play around with that, Aries, because if you're serious about it, it can really, really take a toll on the light and the dark balance that you might be working towards. So, Playful came out right away, and I think that that's just Spirit trying to tell you in November that the best way to get through some of the darkness that you might be facing is very much in a playful way. So, how can we handle the dark or negativity in a playful way? Well, we can always keep a sense of humor. And when it comes to secrets coming out about us, or maybe embarrassing, hidden things that make us feel very vulnerable, if those things are coming out about you, Aries, it's best to just maybe you should be the one that actually outs yourself. Like, hey, I'm an Aries and I go to the bar every night, or I'm an Aries and I watch like The Notebook every night. I don't know what would be kind of intimidating for an Aries. Maybe for some of you, what I just heard in my mind is that some of you don't exactly know who you are right now. Very, very big secret. Very, very big secret. And it's okay, Aries. Intelligent, intuitive people who are tapping into these energies probably know, or people who are very close to Aries that actually give a damn, they know that Aries is struggling a little bit. This is a few select of you. So for the Aries that are having a bit of trouble right now, not understanding who they are, you don't really know the direction you're going in, it's okay. And that's a very playful energy in itself. We have this little cat here kind of batting the moon, right? So you want to play around. What does the moon signify? The moon signifies our emotions. It signifies inside, our inner feelings, how we feel, our mood, what's hidden. And that's interesting. So you want to play around literally. That's what this card means. And it's the eighth house because the 44 up there. You want to play around with what's hidden. And Aries, you could be put in a very unique situation to where you're finding out secrets about other people and you're kind of playing around about that. But there's a very light energy here, very light energy with this little cat. And when I see cats, I'm always led to feel like of a Leo energy, or cats are also very psychic. So for some of you, very few of you, there could be some type of a Leo mixture in there. Who knows? I'm just kind of listening here. But what I feel is that cats are very psychic. So you want to play around with, your intuition. You want to play around with the psychicness about you. You want to play around with the secrets that you find out, because we have this crescent moon up there, right? And then I remember we have that new moon, and I see a little bit of light here. You're not gonna be able to see the color, but there is a light here above the moon a little bit. It's very faint. You can barely see it in person. So to me, that's like playing around with the light and the dark. That's exactly what's going on here, Aries. So whatever that means to you, there's some playing around here. And then we have the High Priestess of Air coming up. So we have this beautiful woman here. In this deck, there's 4 different High Priestesses. Actually, there's 5. High Priestess of Spirit, and then there's one for each element: earth, air, fire, water. But you have the High Priestess of Air coming up. And to me, the High Priestess of Air has a lot to do with communication. So this is more so of a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius energy. And all those signs are air signs, and they're about communication, they're about intellect. And this deck has a theme here with crescent moons, because this lady has a crescent moon on her head. So it's about playing around with that darkness and then allowing it to kind of, here is the third eye. So where the cat was playing around with this moon before, it's becoming centered on kind of her pineal gland. So there's something there with Aries having to kind of play around with the dark first, and then you'll be able to intellectually process it in your mind. That's what I'm getting, guys, with this High Priestess of Air. There could be air signs in your life that you're kind of playing around with, or these secrets may have to do with this air sign. But I'm seeing this more so as communication for you, Aries. Some of you have not really been communicating in the way that you would like. So you want to play around with communication. This is the 6 up here. So 6 has a lot to do with balance, because, it's 3 and 3. So Spirit likes the number 6. So you really want to balance, make sure you're talking and communicating with balanced people. And you want to balance your own communications as well. I'm feeling a lot of November having to do with playing around, so having playful conversations with certain people. Like I said, this dark energy, it can be very serious, and the energy itself is not serious. We have a way as humans of trying to make it serious because it feels serious, but it's not. Scorpios are very fun people. You know, the eighth house is a very fun house. So, since Aries is going through this as an eighth house transit, the sun is awareness. The sun is physical awareness. It's the biggest, it's the center of our solar system. It's the source of light and heat. That is in your eighth house. So there's a lot of awareness right now about darkness. So spirit is coming through, and I feel like a lot of Aries have really been on more the serious side for the first half of November. But hopefully, after you read my video, you get kind of the okay to know that it's okay to play around right now. While especially while everyone else is serious, we need these kind of fiery, passionate signs to come out and be fun how you are. We are going to have Sagittarius season when the sun moves into Sagittarius on the 21st, 22nd. So that's a fire sign, and I want you guys to hold on tight for that because it's a mutable fire sign. So a lot is going to change for you, Aries and Leo, all fire signs, just like how me and Cancer, Pisces and Cancer are benefiting now from this water Scorpio energy. Same for you, Aries. This Sagittarius energy, I believe you're going to feel a lot better. Sagittarius is your ninth house, so things will move from this kind of hidden theme more so toward this intelligent, philosophical, I can't ever say that word, philosophy. Everything's going to be about philosophy, Aries. It's going to be about higher thought and expansion, and just Sagittarius energy is out there and it's very fun. And you'll be back at home with this fire element. It's been a while since we've had fire, so maybe Aries is feeling a little serious, but you don't want that fire to cool down. So I'm seeing here, and we're going to get clarifiers to see anything else the Spirit would like to talk to you about, Aries. Spirit is talking a lot about playing and a lot about playing with air. So let me listen here. Other than playful conversation, playful communication, some of you may be communicating in a more playful way. And if you haven't, if you've been kind of experiencing throat chakra blocks, and that's interesting that I say that because Gemini is Aries' third house. And remember how I was saying that this high priestess of air, no wonder this high priestess is showing herself to you because we're going to have a full moon, and this is more so in December, but we're going to talk about it now because you never know. My videos, they come out kind of late, so just know that next month we're going to have some energy move into Gemini because Sagittarius and Gemini are opposites. So there's a need to work on your communication now because when we move into December, early December, there's going to be a full moon in your third house of communication and lower travel. So you really want to play around with communication right now, Aries, because it may get a little more serious for you in December. You may have more serious conversations to have, but right now it's more so about you may be having intellectual conversations. It's important for you to have at least one playful conversation about something a little bit more dark or serious this month for the rest of November. We have a few weeks left. Especially before Scorpio season ends. That's kind of your homework that Spirit is kind of encouraging me to talk to you about. You're in a very, very, very important position, Aries. I don't know anyone else who has Scorpio in their 8th house, unless it's their natal chart. You might have Scorpio in your 8th house, and then so you would have Taurus in your 2nd house. But for you, Aries, you have it in the universe. I have a zodiac wheel here, and Aries is definitely, 8 houses from Scorpio, or vice versa. Scorpio is 8 houses from Aries. So, you're in a very powerful position universally and globally on a universal collective level. So, it's important for you to kind of get those darker conversations out of the way, or playing with them so that they're not dark. It's kind of hard to explain, but this is what I'm hearing Spirit kind of say. High Priestess of Air, huh? So, Aries, you are very intellectual, I'm seeing, because for the High Priestess to show up, she just seems very intellectual. And probably more so because of that crescent moon I mentioned to you earlier, where the cat was playing before. She's applied it now to her third eye. So, in a very playful way, Aries, you're probably picking up on very dark things. I'm seeing a lot of you. That's why you're probably so serious right now, because the universe is really speaking to you about a lot of dark things, but the trick is to respond in a playful way, not a dark way. So if you hear unheard things, or if you see unseen things, like Aries is seeing it right now, they're making connections in the dark, and you probably don't have really many people to talk to, but it's coming up that you do talk about it. So that high priestess of air and that playfulness, I guess we'll just get some clarifiers on that and talk about that soon. Definitely the light in the dark, having conversations about the light in the dark. It's really a Gemini energy I'm feeling. And this could be what's coming up for Aries next month, but I'm feeling a Gemini energy, whatever that might mean to some of you. Okay, and then the next card we have is denial. And this is the 14th card in the deck. So 4 plus 1 is 5. There's something here about denying the 5th house of Leo. So you could be denying yourself of playtime, right? Because I remember that this brought me to the Leo energy. And the 5th house is of Leo, is very childlike. So you don't want to deny yourself of the childlike tendencies this month. As I'm telling you, it's a very serious energy, and I think it's making the fire signs feel serious when we need you now more than ever to shine that fire. Like, let your flames ignite, and it's okay to be passionate. Just because, maybe you're a little afraid to be as passionate as you usually are other times in the year, because Scorpio energy can do that. And let's not forget here that, this is more of the dark side of Mars coming out for you. And Mars will enter Scorpio soon, and I'll make sure to talk about that in my future videos. Mars is in Libra right now. And Mars is opposite of you. So this might be really causing Aries to be very serious and kind of closed off. But, there's something here that you're denying, Aries. And I think for all of you, this is different. But I'm as a reader, I'm just led to the number 5 or the number 14, whatever that may mean to you. Look out for those numbers this month. And then we have these grapes in the tree. So denying self of, like, maybe be denial about your health, or you're in denial about what's good for you. I'm just seeing this person kind of in the forest reaching out for these kind of grapes in the tree, if you can see that. So, all right, what I'm hearing and what I'm feeling from spirit is, don't deny yourself of what you want just because it's too high to reach or something like that. Because these grapes are like pretty high up in the tree, and these grapes are symbolic for anything that you might want, Aries. These grapes are symbolic for what you really want in your heart. I'm sure they're not grapes, but some of you, I like grapes, so some of you might be reaching for grapes. But this is more so a metaphor for what's high in life. Something that's high out of reach. Maybe you had to let something ripen first. I'm hearing that something has, maybe you planted, this fruit tree. I don't know if they're grapes. It looks a little big to be grapes. So it might be plums, pomegranates. I'm not sure. I'm really feeling more so that it's that. So it's like a pomegranate tree or a plum tree or something. And you're just denying yourself of it. So another thing that this card is speaking to me is that you really don't want to deny yourself of earth, of the earth element. So don't deny yourself of logic, Aries, and don't deny yourself of Mother Earth. You might want to really get out, eat more fruit this month. You might want to spend more time in earth so that you can figure out what it is that you are denying. This card came out for you guys this month. And it's never a good feeling, to deny yourself of something. It's one thing for other people to deny you, but it's another for you to deny yourself something. And you're an Aries, okay? That's not an easy energy at all. So you really want to play around with this. Playful is coming up a lot. You don't want to deny yourself of things that make you feel playful or childlike. Children reach for whatever they want. And it's funny because children aren't usually that tall or big people. They usually are in a situation, unfortunately, they're our future. I don't know why this is happening, but children usually have to ask for what they want, right? Like if this was a child, then this person, he would have asked a larger adult to kind of reach for him. So you're not children, Aries. And that's okay. You can still be playful. You can still reach for the things that you want. They're not too high for you to reach. There's something here, and this could be anything. Some of you may be want a job that you feel like, oh no, it's too high. It's too high up there for me. Like, I really don't want to reach that far. But no, Aries, you're going to need to. There's something in your reach this month in November, or possibly in December, that you should not deny yourself of. And it's this kind of, the plum and the pomegranates, something that has grown on a tree for a long time, that is fulfilling and nutritious. So it's good for you, in other words. That's what Spirit is saying. That Aries is reaching, and here's this. I know this deck. You see how they have this symbol on the back, but now it's on his hand, right? So let's pay attention to that here. At first, you were playing around with it, and then it was applied to your third eye. And now it's actually on your hand right here. So you see this kind of moon here. I'll show you. The cat is playing with the moon on the string. So there's something there about something being dangled up in front of you. Okay, I'm seeing a lot, something being dangled in front of Aries right now. And who likes that? Unless it's a playful way. If someone's dangling something, but I don't like that feeling. It's more of an interesting feeling there. But here's this dangling again. Sorry, that just kind of got me off guard. Dangling moon, dangling intuition, dangling darkness, dangling feelings, something, your feelings caught on a string. And then we have this third eye here. So it's okay because it's going to dangle in front of you and you're going to apply it intuitively. And then we have it on your arm. And there's also something dangling, but now you're reaching for it. So in both of these cards, I'm sorry if you can't see, guys, but this is playful and this is denial, and you're reaching for things. The cat is reaching. The hand is reaching. So there's whatever you're reaching for this month, Aries, just know Spirit is coming through, saying that, you really don't want to deny yourself. Denial. What does it mean to be in denial? Well, sometimes we're in denial about things that we know. Sometimes we're in denial about things that we feel. And I feel like that's what this is for you, especially with this playful card here. Some of you, Aries, for some of you, you could be playing around when you need to be more serious. And I know that's going to be a little confusing, but you want to apply your own intuition here, because I just feel that a little bit with a little Aries. It might be some of the more masculine Aries for the men. So if there's something you want, don't keep playing yourself out of it or keep denying yourself of it. And like we were saying, denial is when we feel something or we know something. And what I meant is that the men, Aries, or some of the women who have stronger masculine energies, you could be feeling something inside right now. And Scorpio season, it really does bring out those feelings that we have. And it's hard because as humans, we all feel, and it's hard for us to feel something and not express it, right? And you are an Aries, so you are a very, very expressive sign. So even if you're expressing it in a playful way, or if you're expressing it through your conversation, just make sure that no one's batting around your feelings, even if they're good feelings, even if they're bad feelings. Like, they're your feelings, Aries, and they're not to be batted around with or played with. So there is something there about that. And then, the denial, I see a lot of trees. I see a lot of growing. There's lots and lots of trees in this card here. And there's something here with you reaching for it. You're reaching for the light. Some are reaching for the darkness. You're reaching for that kind of balance between the light and the dark. Maybe that's why I felt a Gemini energy. Maybe that's why this card is the number 6. Because balance. Gemini balance is kind of not like Libra, but in a way of that they're the twins, and they can be light and dark at the same time. So some of you Aries may be kind of confused with this Scorpio energy. You might be feeling like this is all kind of temporary. It's just kind of a transit. It's kind of a phase. Not that it's not important, but it is kind of a phase right now to see how we all react. They call Scorpio season the night of the dark soul. So if we make it out of Scorpio season, some of us have not. Our souls haven't, but we face our souls in the darkest way between the end of October and middle of November, Scorpio season. So you don't have to deny that. Don't deny yourself of growth. Don't deny yourself of being grounded. Don't deny yourself of that light and dark, or of anything that you want. Like I said, these pomegranates in the trees, they could be anything for you, Aries, and go ahead and reach for them. And, it could feel like they're kind of being dangled in front of you, but you just want to communicate your way through that. You want to express your way through that to yourself, I'm hearing. And then there's also something here with the light and the dark, but I'm feeling like you guys know what I mean. I sure hope so. So the last card from the Wisdom of the House of Knights, which is I would assume these are the cards of Scorpio. Wisdom. This deck, this Wisdom of the House of Knight, it really reminds me of the Scorpio energy. So I believe that's kind of what's coming through here. And we have this listening card, and it's so interesting that we were talking about the light and the dark, because we have this girl here. She's reading a book. So, Aries, you might just need to see these books here in the corner. You might really this might be a time for you to really get lost in a book. But I'm going to read to you what this kind of says up here. And we have another moon here on her head, if you can see that. So it says, darkness does not always equate to evil, and light does not always bring good. So, hello, light and the dark. And for some of us, we are still not at a place where we can comprehend the dark and the light as things other than good and bad. Like when I say dark, a lot of people go right to like evil and bad stuff, but it's so not that. And there's a lot of learning about that right now for all of us, but especially you, Aries. So we have a 23 up here, and 3 plus 2 is 5. So we have 2 5 cards here. So I'm telling you, there is a very playful element here. 1 plus 4 is 5, 2 plus 3 is 5, and then we have this playful energy here that reminds me of the 5th house of Leo. So there's, definitely some numerology here, and I'm seeing that you really want to listen to that playfulness. You want to listen, and there's, the conversation card coming up with listen. So there's a lot of listening and talking this month, just straight up communication. And it's like I'm kind of tapping in a little bit to December for you, Aries, because I'm feeling that Gemini 3rd house coming out a lot, the listening, the talking, the high priestess of air. The high priestess of air is very breezy. She's very intellectual. She handles problems in her life in a very intellectual way, like an air sign. Okay, so there's something there with that. And I'm hearing strongly this light in the dark. Listening to your dark, listening to your light. Reading certain books that if you're reading a book this month or ever, and there's a certain something said to you that speaks to your personal light or dark, then just know that that is spirit. You picked that book up for a reason. You're reading that book for a reason. This girl seems very smart. She has this moon on her head, so she has her intuitive third eye. There's a lot here about your intuitive third eye. There's a moon in every one of these pictures. And I just picked this card up just to see if there's a moon in it. And there is. I almost said there wasn't. And it's a message. So Aries, this is for you. There is a message here, and in this card, it's a lot prettier in the light. There's purple and pinks, and we're also in a forest. And there's a bird flying down to a kind of scroll. It looks like a spiritual scroll. And there is a message here this month for you. And there is a moon here. So the moon is kind of traveling with you. And I see it through the cards, being dangled at first, and then being transferred to your intuition and your third eye. And then the moon is actually on your hand. So you're intuitively reaching for things this month. So this could be emotionally reaching. Some of you are emotionally reaching out for help, I'm hearing. Or emotionally wanting to grow and denying yourself of emotions almost. Denying yourself of your intuition. Don't do that. Don't. Right now, in Scorpio season, is not the time that you want to deny yourself of intuition. You don't want to do that. You definitely want to listen to that intuition. You want to listen to it. I don't know why this accent is coming out. But that could mean something for you too, Aries. You just want to listen, okay? Listen to that third eye. Listen to your intuition. Listen to what you're reading in this month. Listen to your light in the dark. It does not mean bad to be dark. It does not mean good. There's a lot of bad things that come out of the light. And I'm going to do a whole video about this someday. But I firmly believe that. And there's a lot of good things that can come out of the dark. You know what I mean? So, all right. Ooh. Got the Ace of Wands coming out for you, Aries. This is a fire energy. This is a passionate new beginning. So that's coming out for you. Definitely have that. And we have the Knight of Wands underneath that. So you guys are really charging. This is both fire. These are both fire energies coming out for you, Aries. So don't worry. Like I said, I feel like that's that Sagittarius energy. Ooh. And we have the King of Cups. So this is a lot of emotion too. So Aries, my cards are telling me that, you're definitely feeling emotional this month. And emotions are coming in quick. I see that with the Eight of Wands. So much fire energy for you guys. And we have the Three of Wands, which is lots of fire energy. Three of Wands on the bottom of my deck, which is looking out, almost isolation in a way, future planning and just reflection. So you may be reflecting, but let's focus. Okay, we're gonna get some clarifiers on this playful. Okay, Spirit, I have this playful card from my Wisdom of the House of Night. So let's get a clarifier on the playful energy, please. Why is playful here for the sign of Aries? This is for 2017 Pisces Priestess channel. Let's get a clarifier card for playful. Anything more that you can tell me? What else would you like to talk to Aries about? This kind of playful kitten. All right. We have two cards kind of slide out. Okay. So we have the Ten of Pentacles and the Six of Pentacles. So, okay. The Ten of Pentacles is talking about family. This is a completion because this is the 10 card. So this is a very real completion happening. A very physical, playful, I'm relating it to the playful card. So this may be a playful ending that happens or a kind of a more positive. You could be playing around with completions right now, Aries, in a very real way. This talks about ancestors as well. So, you could be playing around with family life because there's a lot of family in this card. And the fact that it's a 10 card, there could be something completing in the home life or the family life. But it came out with the Six of Pentacles. So this is a very balanced energy as well. So you could be playing around with these kind of energies, Aries. This is very much money. So some of you could be playing around with money a little bit or job situation. And there's this give and take energy here. This is the 6, so you know what I mean? Very balanced, right? And this could be Libra and Mars. So this is, you want to really figure out which one you are, Aries. Are you the man that's wealthy enough to kind of give to these people, or are you down here? And I feel like it's different for all Aries. But either way, if you're down here or if you're this man up here, you really want to apply balance to your finances. Okay. So some of you Aries may be playing around a little bit too much with finances, I hear. Interesting. We did have a Taurus full moon on the 3rd and 4th. So since this is a reading for November, it could be talking about you playing around. And I don't know if that's good or bad, Aries, but there's some playfulness going on here with finances. So, it could be, for some Aries, it could be telling you to make sure to balance that. You just want to balance how much fun you're having with your money. And I didn't think this was going that way. I seen it as something way more, but this is definitely, let's see, applying it to the kind of dangling moon here. So other than that, it's Earth coming in for you, playing around Earth sign, balancing things out with a certain Earth sign, maybe who you work with. I'm hearing a lot about finances, so if it's not an Earth sign, it's either an Earth sign you work with or someone you work with that's very Earth-like. There's some balance that needs to take place there and less playing because there is a certain completion happening. These are the cards coming out for this kind of playful energy. Let me just listen here, see if anything else comes through. So we have playful, it's kind of, kittens are playful, and it's interesting that there's a kitten, and then we have dogs in this card. So there's something here about total opposites. Playing around with somebody who's like, you don't really see cats and dogs playing around. So you may be playing around, completing something with someone who's completely opposite of you. Your opposite is Libra. So there's something there with some Aries and Libra. I don't know, but there's some light in the dark here about this cat and this dog and about it being dangled. And I see a lot of different things in these cards for you, Aries. I see, okay, playing around with animals more or children or playing around with family. Hopefully you can see that. There's all kinds of energies. This old man sitting here And then we have this kind of couple and this little kid just peeking around right there playing with our dog's tail. So, come on out and play, Aries, especially for Sagittarius season that starts in this month as well. And you really want to balance that. There's a need to balance. Play around with balance, play around with completions, and I'm not going to get too hung up on this playful energy because I believe what the playful card initiates is that it's just a positive energy. So instead of playful, because sometimes, I just get caught up on the actual words, but the feeling of this card is carefree almost, and it's just playful. It's just fun and happy. And this kitten doesn't look, kittens play, and they play in a way that it doesn't matter. Like, they're not upset or anything like that. So don't you want to apply that playful energy to the completions of any kind of finances. If you lose a job, if this is school related, anything kind of serious like that, play around with the Aries. And remember, I was talking to you in the beginning of this about seriousness. So you really want to balance that out. Balance how serious you are. Okay, work hard, play hard. That's what Spirit just told me. Work hard, play hard, work hard. So make sure you're playing and working and playing and balancing out all these kind of things. Okay, so that's what's being said there about that playful energy. I did not expect, like, no wonder you guys are feeling serious because there's a lot of finances here, right? And even at the bottom of the deck, there's this Seven of Pentacles. And, this is about, and it's interesting that I thought of this card, the Seven of Pentacles, when I was thinking about the denial card. Because there could be something here about denying what hasn't grown. Because the Seven of Pentacles is all about a guy he'll put in work if he sees his work come to fruition. Okay, so in November, you could be this guy coming back to this garden that you haven't seen in a while. And what I mean by garden is relationships, jobs, finances, any situation that you've put something in and you're like, okay, now it's time for me to evaluate what I'm getting out of this. And so you really want to be the Seven of Pentacles here. And I really did think about that when I was talking to you about this kind of denial card. So you don't want to deny yourself of what has or hasn't grown, because that's going to be the basis of your next move, Aries, once you figure out what has or hasn't grown. And I do want to show you this Leo card, that, this is also strength. So you don't have to be dealing with a Leo, but this is fire energy and this is playful energy coming out, so you really want to heed that as what it might mean for you. This is a little bit all over the place, Aries, so hopefully it's coming through to you. All right. Oh, all right. So the High Priestess of Air, we have the Virgo card coming out, the Hermit. Okay, I don't want to get too caught up in the fact that this may be a Virgo, but this is for some of you communication with a Virgo. It is interesting. I kind of thought of Virgo when I seen this card because Virgo is a very intellectual energy. Virgo and Gemini, both ruled by Mercury. And you see that 6 up there? I know it's reversed because we're in a different universe as we're recording, but, this is the number 6 up there. So it could be referring to Virgo. That's interesting that I thought that before, but the 6 card is about balance and things like that as well. So I'm seeing here, since we're going to apply this Hermit card to the High Priestess of Air, you could be alone. This card, we're going to talk about the Virgo in a minute. Other than that, this card is isolation. It's almost like having faith. So you want to have faith in your voice, Aries. Not all Aries are dealing with Virgos right now, but I believe the majority of you are dealing with this kind of isolated energy. You could feel isolated with your communication. You could be talking to someone alone, or alone because you're not talking to someone. Virgos don't talk much. Interesting. So you could be feeling more like that Virgo who's protecting their light right now, but this is a very wise figure. This could be you, Aries, kind of retreating more into yourself. You could have cut communication off with a lot of people, a lot of old friends, a lot of people that, are wondering where you are because you're not talking as much. I even have that feeling as a reader. As I'm reading this for Aries, I'm like, where's Aries? Like, where are you guys? Are you having fun still? Like, you're the cardinal fire sign. It almost concerns me in a way. Like, where's Aries, right? So here is where Aries is. They're by their own damn self, like in a different realm, protecting their wisdom and protecting their light. So there is that. Something here with the 6th house. You want to communicate about your lifestyle. That's what Virgo rules, is the lifestyle. So you could be communicating about changes that you want to make in your lifestyle, or you could be communicating with a Virgo about that. You could be communicating with a figure that doesn't talk much. So it feels very isolated, like there's broken communication. And I remember when I was first reading this, it seemed that way a lot. And we have this Knight of Swords underneath. So here's the air energy. This is charging through with, no regard for consequences. This knight does not give a shit. And this is a very strong air energy. So there's some quick conversations coming in for you, Aries. Maybe with a Virgo. It could be quick conversations coming in, and they might not be good conversations. Some of them are, some of them aren't. Remember the light and the dark here. Um, but there's definitely some hidden conversations going on. And this may be conversations that happen kind of under the veil, something like that. And I'm just heated to tell you guys to protect your light during these conversations. And if they aren't good, don't allow them to kind of ruin your day or anything like that. But nevertheless, very important conversations to be taking place in the month of November, Aries. And it's okay if you're feeling alone, or if you want to be up by your own right now. Oh, okay, this could mean talking to yourself as well. Because you are an Aries and there is the High Priestess of Air with this kind of, oh, okay, it could be talking to angels as well. Because I'm hearing all kinds of stuff, right? I'm hearing all kinds of stuff. So yes, you want to talk more to the angels. The Hermit, this is angels. It's also Mercury. So you really want to talk more. You want to involve your intellect, your mind. This is very Mercury coming up because I felt the Gemini with the High Priestess of Air. And then I'm seeing Virgo. So there's something here about looking down at conversations, very intellectual, wise conversations. So if you have any wise conversations, any intellectual, deep conversations by the end of November, just know that this is spirit, okay? And that these conversations are very important. And I'm going to plug in my computer so that we don't lose your reading. Okay, and then this Ten of Cups wants to come out for you, Aries. I've shuffled a few times and I've seen it. So there is something here with emotional fulfillment and with other people. So, and here's this playful, here's serious and here's playful. So you really want to balance that too, Aries. This is very, very much completion as well. Completions in emotions. So it's interesting that Scorpio season could be causing a little bit of that for you. And who knows, it could be something about with that Virgo or with that communicating with Mercury, something like that. I have this card. Yeah, this card did want to come out, the Four of Cups. So you see this kind of card? I mean, not, you see this? Yeah, I'm hoping that you see the card. But do you see this cloud in the card? This is like your intuition or something otherworldly coming in. You're very concerned right now on these Three Cups. That's what this card talks about. How this guy is very, very concerned, and this guy is talking to himself. So the Hermit and the High Priestess of Air, you guys probably have been talking to yourself a little bit more. And I don't want you to get too caught up on the Three Cups that you think you have, because you always have more than what you might be aware of, Aries. And this card kept wanting to come out with that Ten of Cups. So there's something here about emotional fulfillment. You're very caught up on emotional situations that have happened in the past, but there's new emotions on the way, right? This is a gift of a cup, and cups mean, I guess I should put that here. Cups mean emotion in tarot. They mean water. They mean Pisces, Scorpio, or Cancer. But it doesn't have to be that kind of sign. It's just the universe giving you something that you thought you didn't have. And I do see a lot here about you being in earth. This man is sitting crisscross applesauce under a tree. So there's a lot here to do with logic. So Aries, you might have really been feeling kind of logical lately. This is a Virgo energy. Virgos would sit under this tree and worry about money and worry about their emotions and worry about emotional losses, stuff like that. So just remember what I was saying. You want to be playful. Lots of seriousness right now for Aries. Okay, so let's get more information on denial. Why is denial here for Aries, please? I guess I'll show you how I shuffle. I like when people allow this to be shuffled, or allow you to see what they shuffle. Okay, got a few cards here, 4 of them. First card out, we have the Four of Pentacles. So right away, I'm seeing that some of you, a lot of different scenarios here. I'm hearing denial of finances or financial stability. So, that doesn't necessarily mean something bad. It could mean that you have more money than you think, and you're in denial about that. It could mean that you have less money than you think and you're in denial about that, but you're really holding on to some things. You're really holding on to some things. I'm seeing another alone energy. Very, very alone right now, Aries, but you're never alone with spirit. So just heed that. Even if you feel alone, I'm seeing your energy coming up very, very independent, which is a better word to say than alone. And I really don't want you to be feeling alone, but you're holding on real tight to stuff. And there is something here with the fret. You are very much fretting over these three cups. So this could be third party situations or something here, because we have these three cups again, that this man, these cards come out a lot together with me. And I think it's because spirit knows exactly what I'm going to talk about when they come up together, because we have these men, these very logical, emotional, not usually emotional people, right? He is in his feelings. So this could be you or somebody that you're dealing with, Aries, that is very much focused on these three cups, on these 30 situations, this trinity or something like that. And here these cups are again. He or she focused so much on these cups. And when we focus on things that we're not supposed to focus on, especially if they're negative, look at how he looks. He does not look happy. He's so caught up that he doesn't see this weird ass thing. Like, I'm telling you, if I was sitting at a tree, even if I was in my feelings, if a cloud floated to me with a golden cup, I would be like, whoa, but he really isn't. He's very much focused on the, like, man, I only have these three cups. I only have $300. How am I going to get food? And I get it. Life is very not usually fun. And then he focused so much on them that they knocked over. See them, they're spilt now. And so this is like kind of crying over spilt milk kind of energy. And you don't want to get caught up in the losses, Aries. You really don't. You really want to make sure that you're realizing the cups that you still have. You are not at a loss. It's fine to, and Scorpio season will do this to you. You see how dark he's dressed? See my videos? I really wanted to kind of honor this kind of darker energy, but not in a way where you're staying there, right? I seen a quote earlier about the water. It doesn't drown you. Falling in the water doesn't drown you. Staying in the water drowns you. So there's something here about picking yourself up, dropping that black cloak, getting back to your sunshiny self, and realizing the cups that you do have. You have two cups here, and you have a cup that's being given to you here. So the three cups that had knocked over or that you're not noticing, Aries, trust me, you still have things. And then we have this fire energy. So we have the 9 of Wands and we have the 6 of Wands. The 7 of Wands. So here's the 7 of Wands. This energy talks about being on top, staying on top. But something I always notice about this card is the fact that his feet aren't in the water. There's water down here. And it's hard to see where it is because it's not colored. But this right here is water. And then the other is grass. He's kind of up higher on a pedestal a little bit. And these wands down here are connected to people who don't like him very much. They want him off of that throne. They want him to get knocked down. So there's some energy here. I'm hearing psychic attacks for Aries. And if you don't know what psychic attacks are, it's when you're just chilling and you feel a hostile energy. You might be alone. And there's no one to blame it on. So you're like, why do I feel this hostile energy? Well, it's because you're being psychically attacked by people. They could be looking at your picture. You never know. Energy travels like that, and it definitely gets projected at people. So there are some hostile people in your life. With that Mars and Libra, there's a lot of balancing out aggression right now. And so you want to stay on your feet, Aries. This man is ready to go. He is like kind of worried up there, but he's not going to let these assholes knock him down. So you might very well get out of this kind of blues attitude. For the Aries who have been feeling kind of low, you could get out of that and get back to your natural fiery self, to where you're ready to defend yourself. And this is all coming up with denial. So you could be denying the things that you're holding on to. So what is it that you're holding on to, Spirit? What is it that you're holding on to, Aries, that Spirit wants to reveal to you right now? We're holding on to something. It could be having something to do with a soulmate or something that didn't work out emotionally, because I'm seeing a lot of that. And there's another number 5 here again. So there's something here very much so about like a soulmate, because that's the house of soulmates. And then we have this, you're denying certain fights. Don't deny these people. If they show you these wands and they're hurting you, just know that they're either for you or against you. And the people down here are against you, Aries, and that's coming up for you this month. But it's okay, because we have the 9 of Wands here. And the Nine of Wands talks about having one more fight, right? It's the nine. It's almost the Ten of Wands, which is almost a completion. So for the you know, you've been through a lot, Aries, and I see this as you guys. You know, he's limping, he's using this to kind of hold himself up. Look at his head. You know, he's injured is what I want to say. And he's guarded. And it's interesting that these cards came out together, because this is another one of my little pairs that I like to pair up together. Because it's a very much fighting energy, but you're fighting in a passionate way. And if you're not, I'm hearing spirit say that you could fight back with passion. Because if there's anything that fire signs have notoriously, it's their passion. And it's very hard to fight a passionate person when you're not passionate. Okay, so some of these people down here who are fighting you, they don't even know what to do with those wands. Wands are fire energy. These are fire energies. So this is aggression, and this is certain passionate fights coming up. And if you're not fighting with other Aries, then they don't really stand a chance. And even if you are fighting with other Aries, you know, you don't want to deny yourself that. You don't want to deny yourself victories. Don't deny everything that you've been through, because I see a very, very wounded person. They're injured and hurt. They're tired of fighting, and they just want their fire back. You know, they don't want it to be a jail behind them or around them. They want their fire. They want their wands, right? These are wands. This is the Nine of Wands. And this guy's very shifty-eyed. He's wondering when the next fight's gonna happen, you know, and he's just ready for it. Like, bring it on, ho. And, you know, I see a lot of fighting here. So I don't want you to deny the people in your life that are deliberately fighting you. And it's up to you, Aries, to see those energies as what they are. And the bottom of the deck right now is the Three of Pentacles. So this could have something to do with work situation or contracts, something not going as planned, something like that. Could have a lot to do with the fighting. Okay, so we have the Moon card coming out, and the Cancer, and the Eight of Wands, and these cards just kind of came out for you, Aries. And I believe that this is a strong water energy, so this has a lot to do with your emotions. We have a Cancer and a Pisces coming up, so some of you could be sad over a Pisces, over a Cancer. You could be feeling very trapped about this, but it's interesting that these cards came up, because Pisces and Cancer, you know, it's Scorpio, Pisces, and Cancer that are the water signs. And we have a lot of light and dark here about the emotions. See this light figure and this dark figure down here. So you want to protect yourself. You see how he is kind of emotionally protected. And this could be talking about the moon coming up. This could be talking about the Taurus moon. But if not, it's just certain illusions about the emotions. If it's not a Pisces, then it's just certain secrets coming out, emotional secrets. And, you know, there are some Aries feeling very bound to emotional situations. But this is in your head, Aries. You're not trapped. You know, you're just avoiding your emotions right now. And that's okay, you know, for a while. But when you realize that you're doing that, when that comes to your attention, you really want to wake up so that you can unbind yourself, because there's no prison guard here. There's nobody monitoring her like she's in her own mental prison. And I hate this card, because even this feels so real, especially to Pisces. You know, and I'm saying that because people always say, oh, just unbind yourself, just unmask yourself and come out. Well, it's easier said than done. Like, I'd rather be in real prison than in an Eight of Swords prison, because this is in your mind and you're trapping yourself. And, you know, we're our own worst enemy. So you're very trapped in emotions right now, I'm seeing, Aries. And, well, some of you are. And don't worry, it is easier. It's a lot easier to leave a situation that you caused in some circumstances. And this could have to do with the home for some of you, because I'm seeing that there's a home very far away that she's kind of left mentally. Maybe you don't want to live somewhere anymore. You're feeling very bound to where you live. And you really want to remove that, and I know it's not easy, Aries, but you want to remove that blindfold. And you want to remove it so that you're able to see your emotions. There's some emotions here that are really wanting to be seen before the end of Scorpio season. And under here is water. Her feet are not in the water. So if she were just to listen to her emotions, and, you know, I think these cards came out for listen, because that's the last card that we have here. And it's so weird that I say if she were just to listen to her emotions. And that's what they say about the Eight of Swords. If she were to listen to her emotions down here, put her feet in the water and ground herself emotionally, then she would gain the wisdom and intelligence to remove all these swords. because swords represent air energy. These are certain conversations that have made you feel trapped. These are certain thoughts and mental, situations that make you feel trapped. And you really want to listen to that. You don't want to deny yourself, because there's a lot here with you being surrounded by swords and wands. So it's like almost passion. You're like trapped in a passionate way, but I don't see any passion here, right? This lady, it's interesting that she's wearing red. I just have to communicate with that, you guys, since I'm doing black and white videos this month. She's wearing red, so I do see this as you, Aries, man and women, very personally bound. And no wonder you're alone. No wonder we haven't really seen Aries this month, because there's lots of things that has come out for you with this eighth house energy. But the trick for you, Aries, is to just listen to it. Just listen to your emotions. And there's several things about the moon here, right? We see this moon, the moon's on his shoulder. And there were all those moons, right? So listen to your intuition. That's what this means. Listen to your intuition. Listen to the way that you feel, and the way that your emotions are kind of trying to speak to you, because that is what's going to lead you to the next step that you have to make. You're not going to feel trapped. A lot of people are afraid of their emotions. You could, as an Aries, you could be very afraid of your emotions this Scorpio season. But for you, it's about listening to them. You really want to listen to the emotional advice that you're getting, and you want to honor the light and the dark. It's so interesting that it says light does not always equate to dark, or it says light does not always bring good, and darkness does not always equate to evil. So there's something here with this Cancer, the light and the dark down there, validating the listening. This is also victory, right? We don't want to forget that the Chariot card is victory. So you may have emotional victory by the end of this month, Aries, especially if you listen. So by the full moon in Gemini, you really want to be listening to your emotions, because you're going to need it next month in December, when that full moon is in your third house. And at the bottom of the deck again, we have this Knight of Swords. So this card is really wanting to come out for you, and we have this Ten of Cups. And underneath the Ten of Cups, we have the Four of Wands. So I'm seeing what you Aries want. But it's interesting that you're almost charging away from the Ten of Cups. So there's something there with that you may be leaving a Ten of Cups situation to kind of charge forth to something else. It could be something with that. But I do see emotional stability. I see emotional fulfillment. And then there's this Page of Wands. So this is a new beginning here. And it is going to balance out. It is going to balance out. And you're going to have the truth, Aries, about this Ten of Cups situation. And we have the Four of Wands here for you as well. So I'm seeing this passion. I'm seeing that you really want to celebrate with somebody right now. A lot of you Aries are single and you don't want to be. And you're kind of charging away from that. And I think, if you're an Aries who wants a relationship, I'm going to tell you a secret that Spirit is telling me right now. And it's that you really, 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 really want to listen to the way that you feel. I just pulled the Empress card for you, which is a Venus energy. We have Venus in Scorpio right now, so that's a lot about emotions too. And then I have the Lovers card. Okay, so there's something here with a Gemini energy, and if it's not a Gemini, it's just that you're very much focused on love and fulfillment right now, but for some reason you're taking a rest, the Four of Swords. There's a lot of air energy as well, and you have a lot of options, Aries. And I don't mean to get so into your reading, but a lot of this is just really being called for you, because I'm seeing here that you want to passionately charge towards something. And I feel like, if you're going to protect yourself in a way like this guy, with passion, not in a way where you're avoiding your emotions, because some of you are avoiding emotional situations. And the more you do that, you're literally charging away from all this good stuff. Charging away from this, which is emotional stability in marriage, just success in love. And then here's more of what you will be charging away from. All you have to do is open your hearts, right? This is a Venus card. See the Venus symbol there? So there's something there about that, and you may just need to rest. That's where I'm going to leave your reading, Aries, because I really feel like there's a need for you to kind of meditate and pray. This is prayer. This is meditation. This is rest and rejuvenation. You really want to rest, because there's a lot of conversations that are going to be taking place soon. And just wait for that third house moon, because there's a lot of love coming for you. The Lovers and the Empress, a lot of love coming in for you, Aries. There's a lot of communication just wanting to charge in for you. And it's important to kind of relax right now before those energies come in, so that you're prepared. You know what I mean? So that you're prepared in a way when these energies come up. And then I just shuffle the deck and I have the Ace of Wands at the bottom again. So I'm telling you, there is a definitely there's a definite, passionate, powerful new beginning here. This is passionate conversation as well. And you definitely want to heed your intuition right now when it comes to making decisions, because I'm seeing the High Priestess here as well with the Two of Wands. So after you find this passion, right, and I feel like the way to do it, Aries, is to listen to your emotions. Emotions lead to passion, and you want to harness this Scorpio energy right now before all this energy comes up, okay? So that was your reading, Aries, for November. Really interesting to start off with. And I just want to say, make sure you're communicating and listening, and you don't want to deny yourself of communication. You don't want to deny yourself of listening, because we did have that denial card with the High Priestess of Air, in the listening, in the playful. And I feel like as long as you keep it playful, keep it cute, keep it fiery, playful is another one of those passionate energies. So just, take this Ace of Wands and accept the passion that you have, Aries. And when you do that, you can apply that to all these conversations, to all these people coming into your life. You can apply that to what you may be denying yourself of this passion and power. I see a lot of that here too, but you just have to wake up and you have to realize the power that you actually do have. Okay, Aries? This is an intense month. November is intense, but it's the 10th, and I will be back very soon to speak to you in December. It'll probably be in about a month. Talk to you. I like to do my videos more of the mid, because it's after a lot of people have done readings and the energies have really transitioned already, and I'm able to pick up on energies that are settled more towards the middle of the month. So I'll try to get this uploaded for you guys soon. Let me know what you thought this month, Aries. That your energy seems very interesting to me, and I feel like a lot of you are going through tough issues. So feel free to comment below what you may be going through. A lot of you Aries can maybe connect below, and I would definitely be more than happy to communicate with some of you about what could be going on. This seems a little interesting, but we have a lot of powerful light coming in for you as well. And like I said, just wait on Sagittarius season. That's your sister sign, and things will kind of heat up again back in December. All right, I'll talk to you guys then. Bye, Aries. Love you.